So I was just thinking about life, and I came up with this really cool analogy, and I feel like it should have been said somewhere before, or that somebody's probably said it before. But I just thought about life, and I thought, like, we all get dealt like a hand of cards at the beginning of life, and some of us get like a really, really bad hand of cards, you know, like really, really rubbish, and we're like, right, you know, this is now going to work. We start off with this really, really bad hand of cards. And others of us get handed a really great set of cards. And yeah, we're going to win with this, you know, because it's such a great deck of cards. And others of us, we kind of get a little bit of both. We get a mixture. We get like a little bit of rubbish, a little bit good. And you know, I think there's like a spectrum of all kinds of lives with different dealings of cards. So what I thought to myself was, some people who get handed a really, really rubbish deck of cards, it's a hand of cards, and some who get handed cards that are really rubbish, you know, they know how to play really well, and when they start, what they start off with and what they end up with might be incredible. It might be such an amazing, because they're so great at playing the game of life. And then other people get handed like really easy cards, and you're like, you could win with that, like in one go, and yet they really struggle. So it's not about what you dealt. It's not about the hand of cards that you dealt in life. It's how you play the game. And I just thought that's really cool, because, you know, some people who have been handed a really, really awful deck of cards, a hand of cards in their life, they might think, well, I haven't got that far, you know? But it all depends where you start, doesn't it? Like somebody who is already, you know, kind of at their healthy weight, let's just say that, they're not going to worry, you know, about dieting, because it won't matter. And for them to get to their healthy weight, you know, might mean a couple of pounds here and there. They put it on, they lose it. They put it on, they lose it. Other people, they might start off, you know, really struggling, and, you know, really really overweight, and then they have a journey of getting down to their ideal weight. And it's actually a really, really cool journey, and they have done so much more than the person who started off at the ideal weight. They're two people. They're the same weight. They're the same kind of, you know, it works with everything. I mean, we all talk about losing weight. We all talk about money. We all talk about relationships. You know, if you start off and you have rubbish relationships to start off with, and you're absolutely awful at them, and then you find a way to have really good relationships with people, you're a winner. You're a winner. You know, if you start off and you've got, you know, no money at the beginning, again, you're a winner. If you start off and you've got no money and you end up with money, you're just the same of a winner as somebody who starts off with £1,000,000 and ends up with 1 billion. You still, you know, you're still winning. So I think we sometimes kind of compare ourselves to people who have started off, you know, where we want to end up, you know, and they don't have that journey, you know, they don't have that journey of getting there. And we have to have that journey to get to where we want to be. You know, as an autistic adult, I have a journey of struggling quite a lot with communicating, and struggling to keep my relationships going, and struggling to know how to please people, and what I need to do to just get things right in relationships. And, you know, that's my journey. But other people have other journeys. And so we're all the same, really. We're all just trying to play the game of life with whatever hand of cards that we were dealt with. So next time you're kind of comparing yourself or anything like that, just think about that. Think about everybody's dealt a different hand. And are you doing well with the hand that you've got? Because it doesn't really matter if you're doing well compared to anybody else, because they were dealt a different hand anyway. So, yeah. How are you doing with your hand of cards? You know, because your hand of cards is the only hand of cards you need to think about. Everybody else is theirs.